Do you ever feel stuck in the rat race? Life doesn't have to be that way if you're willing to put in the work. In Bigger Vision, Chris Garrison helps you discover the keys to abundance, freedom, and personal growth that let you live the life of your dreams. And now, here's your host, Chris Garrison.
Welcome, everybody. You've made it to the Bigger Vision podcast. I'm Chris Garrison, your host today, and I hope your day has started out great. If you're listening to this in the afternoon, I hope that your day has been productive, efficient, and you have conquered. So I wanted to talk about getting noticed. So many people are trying to rise to the top, grow their wealth, get noticed by a girl, get noticed by a guy. And the reason that we don't get noticed in the way that we want to be seen is because we don't do the things that require people's attention. So for instance, you got to get out of the normal. You've got to get out of what everyone else is doing. If you want to get noticed, you got to be spectacular. If you want to get noticed, you got to do something that someone else is not willing to do. I always recognize when someone comes in my establishment, in my companies, and they seem like an overachiever. I love these overachievers because no matter what they're doing, they're trying to do it in as much momentum and in as much effort and detail as possible. These individuals stand out above the crowd when you see this kind of effort being given, because most people only give just enough, whatever is required of them. The others, the ones that stand out, they show up and they give everything they've got to give above and beyond what is required of them, because that's just a part of how their DNA is made up. They have allowed themselves to say, I'm going to be the best at whatever I do, and I'm going to make sure that I give it no matter who looks or says anything about it. So why do so many people not have this quality? I wonder this at times, and here's what I've come up with. I feel like most have not exposed themselves to the crowd of high achievers, because when you hang out with high achievers, you've got nothing else to do but become a high achiever. But when you hang out with those that do just enough, then it seems okay to do just enough. So the crowd that you hang out with is going to help dictate if you get noticed or not. But you're not a tragedy of your circumstances either, because I know several people that have been raised in environments that were not the best things to be raised in. Matter of fact, they were environments that someone would have said was a tragedy to be raised in. And yet they have found a way to get noticed because of their hustle, because of their desire to have more. And I think because they were stuck in such a bad place, that it gave them the fire and momentum to be able to taste something better. And once you get a taste of that better, it drives you even harder to push for more. We've got to get noticed, and it's easy to get noticed. Society has made it so easy to get noticed. It's as simple as when you're walking by a piece of trash on the ground, you pick it up. Not because it was your job, not because you're the janitor, not because you're the groundskeeper, but because there was trash in the yard and it's not supposed to be in the yard. Trash is supposed to be in a trash can. That's abnormal. When people see this, they notice, and you get noticed when you constantly do things like this. If you want to rise above the rest, you've got to rise above the rest. If you want to have the best, you have got to be willing to do what others are not willing to do. So I just hired an operations manager for Absolute Cleaning and Restoration. This guy was a grocery delivery guy. I forget the application, the company that he goes through. But anyway, so he's been delivering groceries. The current company that he worked for shut down. So he went into Uber driving after a couple of college kids messed his car up from being sick, out drinking all night. He decided Uber driving wasn't the thing for him. So he moved into delivering groceries. And I promise you, he wowed every person that he delivered groceries to. So the first time about 8 months ago, he delivered groceries to our house. And my wife was like, oh my God, I love this guy. I hope I get him every single time. I mean, he had the bags all set up. He called and checked with me to make sure when they didn't have something that I'd ordered, could he substitute it? She said it was the great customer service. So then She sees a post by someone else on Facebook talking about the same guy and how great his customer service was, and shot a picture of how organized all of the bags were sitting at his door, because most of this is contactless delivery services. So they just set it at the door and then you're there to grab it up because of the whole COVID thing. I mean, it's amazing how it's changed the climate of how society works. And we started seeing this over and over again. He would pop up occasionally across our Facebook feeds. And then he came to the house and I got to experience it for myself. My wife were there. So me and Christy walk out and he pops the trunk. And I was like, holy crap, man, all of the bags were turned the same direction. All the handles were pulled up right so that you just grab them easily. You don't have to, sift through the bags to try to find the handle so that you could pick up several bags. The dude even had bungee cords in his trunk that stretched through the handles of the bags so that they wouldn't shift in transit. I later learned through our interview. So let me tell you what I ended up having to do. I was enamored by this and I was like, if this guy is this incredible, I've got to have him. I don't care what it's going to take. I got to track this guy down. So the app closed out and I wasn't able to get in touch with him. I tried to look him up on social media platforms and he wasn't active on those platforms. So a few weeks go by and he posts again somebody posted on Facebook saying, the guy's name's Garrett. I've already got him signed up with the company, so I'll just share it. The guy's name's Garrett. I mean, he's impressive. It said, Garrett strikes again, and it showed a picture of all of our bags with the handles straight up, very organized and clean lines sitting right at the door. I mean, it's just so impressive, the detail that he puts into his work. But see, most people will not put that kind of detail in, and I don't understand why. He wasn't required to put that kind of detail in. He wasn't required to turn them all in the same way. He was not required to sit there and rebag the groceries after the bagger sits there and puts the bread in with the milk. This guy would sit there and the bagger would bring the groceries out, put them in his trunk, and then Garrick would sit there and rebag the groceries according to how they should be. Cold with cold, fragile with fragile. It's just amazing how he went above and beyond. He didn't get paid anything extra for doing this service by the company. But he knew that this was going above and beyond, and he desired to be the best at whatever he did and give the ultimate customer satisfaction. The guy told me that he even carries extra bags in his trunk so that he's able to rebag if there wasn't enough bags after he recategorized. Now, you might be thinking that's way too much, but this guy got noticed because it was too much for the average ordinary person. So the question is, are you an average ordinary person, or are you an exceptional human being? Because an exceptional human being is going to say, whatever I touch is going to turn to gold because I'm going to put the effort in behind it. And this is what our society lacks so much. I go through this constantly, even within my own team. I walk out and I notice things to where the maintenance has just not been done. They don't care if they clean the wand up and they go into someone's house and it's dirty. They don't feel like it reflects on them. But in all reality, it reflects on you. Everything that you are involved in, if it is subpar, it's reflecting on you because you were willing to be involved in subpar service or product. There's no way in the world that I would attach my name to something like that. So this Garrett guy caught my attention, just like he had caught all the others' attention. But the difference was I couldn't find him on social media, and I said, I've got to have this guy. So I freaking got this. I found he had a social media profile, but there was no postings. So I knew he wasn't going to catch me on Messenger. So I actually did send him a message through Messenger, but then I got on Google and I skip traced him. And skip tracing is nothing but service. I found a free service and I was able to type in his name, the city, and then it populated, and I realized he was just in a city right next door to Tupelo. I said, this has got to be that guy. And it gave me a phone number, so I called it. He actually answered, thankfully. If he had not answered, I would have left a message and sent a text message asking, hey, guy, are you the delivery driver? Because I've got something special that I'm trying to get to you. He answered, and I said, man, this is going to sound weird. I said, but I was amazed at the detail you going above and beyond for customer service in your grocery delivery service. And I run a cleaning and restoration company, a cleaning and disaster cleanup company. And I said, man, I want to talk to you and give you a career opportunity of your lifetime and help you hit your goals financially and career-wise. because I feel like you're being underutilized in what you got going on right now. And if you're interested in this, when can we set up a time to talk? And he said, yeah, man, I'm actually very interested in it because I was just thinking the last couple of weeks that this was something that was playing out and not a career move. And it filled the void. It filled what he needed for the moment. And it got him noticed, though. But if this dude had been an average, ordinary grocery delivery guy, did the exact same thing that everybody else did, grabbed the groceries however they were bagged from the store, I didn't bag them. It's not my fault that your bread got crushed. All I was the delivery driver. If that was the attitude that he never would have got the opportunity to get plugged in at an excellent salary, at a management position, and has plenty of room to grow with us. This is why it's important. So many people don't have far enough vision to realize that me picking the trash up as I'm walking through the parking lot today might land me the opportunity that I need tomorrow because somebody else will do it. It's not my job. Everybody throws trash on the ground. Look at the parking lot across the street. The wind will blow it into someone else's parking lot. Change your attitude today. Get noticed because your future will change when you begin to get noticed. And how you get noticed is doing more than what the other person's willing to do. When I wanted my insurance agents to notice me and notice my company, I said, okay, how often does my competitors go in to see them? And I asked them, I said, how often are they coming to see you? Real casually in conversation, nonchalant. They're like, they come about once a month. They'll take us to lunch or bring us something by. I was like, bet. Okay. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm coming to see you every other week. I'm going to see you twice a month because I want to be branded in your brain when someone calls and says, I've got water on my floor. I've got a pipe that's busted and flooded my house out. I've got a fire, kitchen fire that happened, or a candle dropped and burned a rug and smoked my whole house out. I wanted to make sure that I was doing more what my competition was doing because I wanted to be noticed. So what are you going to do to be noticed, Mr. or Miss Secretary? What are you going to do to be noticed, Mr. or Miss Janitor? What are you going to do to be noticed, lawn care professional, lawn care technician, carpet cleaner? What are you going to do to be noticed? Because when you get noticed, opportunity starts to come knocking on your door. And it doesn't mean you can do it one time and expect someone's going to come and offer you the dream job. That's not how it happens. You do this shit as long as it takes you. This is a lifestyle change. It is something that you do constantly in life. It's a part of your blood work and your DNA. This is just how you move. It's your cadence. Because if you just do it one or two times, then you're going to falsify yourself and you're going to get stuck in a position and you're going to lose that opportunity forever because you're not going to carry that same authenticity of hustler. You're not going to carry that same cadence that got you noticed because maybe you just got noticed on that one-off thing. So change your lifestyle, change the way that you move throughout your day. When you show up at home, you smile and say, "Oh, family, I love you. I'm so happy to be home," and give them a kiss. When you wake up in the morning, you state that it's a great day because you woke up and you have the opportunity to do something great today. When you walk into work, you have a clean uniform on, your shirt's tucked in, your hair's combed right, you had a great shower and put on good deodorant and even threw some cologne on because you wanted to get noticed. You walk in with confidence and you ask, what can I do if there's nothing on the agenda? How can I better today? How can I improve what's around me? Everything that I touch, I want it to turn to gold. This is your attitude to get noticed. So do you want to get noticed or do you want to just sit back like the majority of the world and just get by? Because if you want to just get by, then stop listening to this Bigger Vision podcast because that's not what this audience is about. But if you're ready to have changes in your life, if you're ready to see new things come, new opportunities, new relationships, if you're ready for your mind to get blown in the possibilities of what the future can hold for you, then you've got to start doing what no one else is willing to do. Go above and beyond. When the clock turns 5 o'clock and everybody else is leaving, you hang around and you make sure that everything's tidied up and detailed and locked up and lights are off. Toilet lids are down in the ladies' restroom. The men's toilet lids are down. Whatever the case is, find some way to be impressive. And I promise you, you're going to get noticed and there will be opportunity. It may take a year. It may take 5 years. But what if 5 years down the road, You got the opportunity that accelerated your life financially and put you in your dream position that carried you the rest of your life, that set you up. One moment can change the entire trajectory of your life. One moment noticed by someone else because you went above and beyond. I hope you really, really think about how your actions are and how you move throughout your day. And even when you don't feel like it, you make sure your cadence is exceptional. You walk in like an alpha. You walk in and you own the environment and the space that you're in because you bring excellence. When you walk into the room, the whole atmosphere changes because your attitude is different. Your actions are different. Your speech is different. This is who you are. This is who you're meant to be. You're not meant to be the average, ordinary person. We got too many of those. You're meant to be exceptional, and you're going to do what the others are not willing to do. I want you to be blessed. I want you to live in success. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay encouraged. Wake up in the morning and do something. Keep your promises. Make small wins that mount up to a day full of wins. And this compounding effect of wins, before you know it, a year from now, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, you're going to look back and say, holy smokes, look at how much my life has changed for the better. And you're going to have a massive smile on your face because you didn't give up on yourself, because you put the effort in and you changed your life. And not only did you change your life, you're changing the lives that are watching your life. You're changing the lives of those that are depending and watching on you. I want you guys to live in success. And until next time, let's grow together. Hop on to the whatever platform you're listening to this podcast and give me a 5-star review. Leave me some comments. It helps me in the algorithm to reach the rest of the listeners so that other listeners can jump in and join and grow themselves as well. See you guys later.
This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.